see if I can be there. Yes. Now on YouTube, guys, you can see me and you can see also my slides. Okay, so welcome to this first class. We are gonna talk today about how we can get ahead with our English journey. Okay, we don't want to be along the way. We don't want to be like in the middle of the destination. You want to get there. And if you are understanding me right now, is because you started somewhere. You started doing your English journey, and maybe during the way you are following like some different roads, you are following different streets, and you're not getting there, you're not getting anywhere, right? So I'm here as your English mentor, just to show you and to tell you how you can use some strategies, some techniques to get ahead on your English journey. Okay, are you guys understanding me? Just let me know in the comments on YouTube or also on Instagram. And if you are on Instagram, I want you on my YouTube channel because you can see also my slides. Okay, so yesterday, guys, I was having a live here. I was also live on Instagram and on YouTube, and there was one question from one of the people who were watching it. That was, what's the secret of the intermediate? It's like, how can I get ahead on this intermediate English? It seems like I'm stuck on this level and I would never get ahead. And guys, I'm gonna tell you what I told her yesterday. There is no secret, right? The secret is to put your English into your life. Like today, I just made a post on Instagram on how you can introduce English into your routine, and also to put English in your life as a daily practice, right? So you have to practice that every day. If you don't put English in your life, if you don't start having like really real contact with the language every day, is going to be really difficult for you. So that's my first tip, right? And when you align our knowledge with our daily practice, we have results, right? So most of times when I see people that have already lived abroad, that have already had experiences, maybe 5-6 years studying English, or maybe they even like got a degree, got a diploma, but they don't have contact with English daily. It's something really sad because we put lots of time and lots of energy on our English journey, and most of times we just like waste it, because if you don't keep on practicing, if you don't keep on having a contact with the language every day, practicing, talking to someone, or just creating content or consuming content in the other language, unfortunately we lose everything that we had spent lots of energy to get, right? So today I'm going to tell you how I did when I was not like working with English, because I was in this situation also, guys. When I came back from Suriname in 2013, it was when I started teaching English, and my first goal when I started teaching the language was not like getting any kind of money or making a career from that. Dude, I'm waiting for you on YouTube. Okay, click on this link on the comments, and I will see you there after also. So my goal number one was not to have a career. It was to keep on practice, because it was so hard for me to get an opportunity to go abroad, that when I came back to Brazil, I was like, okay, I can never like let this knowledge go. I have to keep on investing my time and my energy for that. And I created a method for me of teaching English. So I was like forcing myself to have the contact with the language every day. So that's what I'm going to tell you today, guys. You have to align knowledge plus daily practice, okay? And there are some ways that you can do it. You can do it being part of a program. You can do it being part of an English, English mentorship, or you can just like using free resources that are available for everyone, and you don't have to spend any dollar and any reais on that, okay? So guys, the first one, it's important to include English in our routine. And every time that we listen to this sentence, like including English in my routine, introducing English in my routine, it seems something really like difficult, or that you're gonna have, to change everything you do. But I'm here to tell you guys that it's very simple to do so, right? I just sent like this link on my YouTube class in my study plan group, and the guys that are following the study plan, they can see that it's really simple. Like if you separate 15 minutes, 20 minutes of your day every day and just research for any video on YouTube or any podcast content, I'm pretty sure that you can already like improve your ability of listening, improve your ability of speaking to yourself. Like if you are commenting or thinking about this content that you just had contact with, and it's not something that you have to change everything that you have done. You can do it in a very simple way. So I'm just would like to jump here, guys, just to talk about how my individual classes work, right? So we have all these activities here, and why I have all these activities here for all my students, because I really think that is important for them to have an immersion, right? So if I just have like 1 hour of classes every week, we are gonna. Oh, so good, Pablo. Pablo, congratulations. You understand everything. I'm proud of yourself also. So why I have added to my program lots of these new activities here. It's not only like 1 hour every week, because imagine, guys, I teach you an expression today, and we spend like 7 days without talking to each other, without seeing each other. In the next week, I'm gonna ask you, what about this expression that I just told you about? And you can just say, oh, I know that you told me about this, but I don't remember exactly why. Why? Because you didn't have any contact with this knowledge during the week, right? So I also include the study plan that you have activities that is going to require in the maximum 30 minutes every day. We have the grammar classes every 15 days. That's going to be 1 hour every 15 days. So you have these plus 2 hours of grammar practice. We have our homework that is really important to do, and if you are my student, you know that I am really strict about it. Like if you don't do the homework, you're gonna get in trouble with me. And we also have foreigner special classes every Saturday, no, every month, once a month on a Saturday morning. I invite some friends, some colleagues, some people that I had already met in any of my experiences abroad. I live in Canada, so for me it's kind of easy to talk to a foreigner, to be here and to be there with my students, just having a chat. And this is important because I want to provide my students an immersion, right? It's really important for them to know that English is something that has to be part of your life. At the moment that you decide that you are going to start speaking another language, you have to create time for it. Open your agenda and just introduce it to your daily life. Okay, so how we can start doing it, guys? We can start by thinking out loud or talking to ourselves, right? So this is an exercise that I used to do when I was learning English. And I, like, in that time I was not an English teacher yet, but I was just an English student. But I was like thinking, okay, I always think to myself, and I have this habit of talking out loud. So every time that I have a thought, I am like, I have to go to the supermarket this afternoon, or what are the chores that I have to do in my house? Chores, guys, is I'm gonna put here, maybe it's a new word for you. Chores is all the activities that we do at home. So, for example, doing the dishes, making the bed, cleaning the house, cleaning your wardrobe, all these activities that we do, like manual activities related to cleaning your house, we call it chores. So every time that I have to do some chores, I was thinking to myself out loud in Portuguese as a normal person. When I started learning English, I thought, why not I start thinking out loud or start thinking to myself in English? Because I do it on a daily basis. I do it like lots of hours all the time. I'm thinking about something. Why I don't try to start thinking in English? And I know, guys, that it can be a little bit tricky. It can be a little bit challenging because sometimes you don't have the vocabulary. So you want to think about something, but you don't remember this word in English. But if you force yourself, like every day, you were going to see what everything that you have to do in your day, and don't remember in a word. You don't remember a word, so you go to a Cambridge dictionary, you go to a vocabulary, and you just write this word down, and you imagine how much vocabulary, how many new words you can acquire in this simple exercise that's going to require you only time and energy, and you don't have to spend any kind of money. You don't have to stop your life. You can be like driving and you just start thinking to yourself and researching for these words that you have, and only by doing this you can already like improve, you can already get ahead, right? Other technique that I used to do, guys, when I was learning English, and I always tell my students to do it. And by the way, we're gonna have a Notion page for that with a diary. My student Manu created a Notion diary for us to tell everything that we have in our life. You can start a diary in English and use your Google Docs to correct your mistakes. This is something also that is part of my English classes. So when the student start studying with me, they have Google Docs that I put like the words for the homework, and we create the sentences together. And Google Docs has this method, that has this tool that they correct you. So every time that you are making a sentence there, Google Docs is going to correct you, so you can learn just seeing what is wrong and correcting yourself, right? So imagine if every day, like, you just commit yourself to, instead of being on social media, instead of I don't know, watching Netflix or anything like that, you just commit yourself to write about your day in English in your Google Doc. So today, let me think about myself today. For example, I woke up around 2:30 a.m. because I had to drive my boyfriend to the airport. He was traveling because of his work. I came back home. Instead of going to sleep, I just started working because I'm a little bit crazy about my job. So every time that every time that I don't sleep or I don't feel sleepy, I just enjoy to create some strategies or just start working. So I work from, I don't know, 3 to 6 maybe. When it was 6 a.m., I come back to sleep, and I woke up around 9. And so I had my day. I had a call with my boss, who's from Canada, and my 3 colleagues from Brazil. After that, I had a class. After that, I had lunch. And you can just start talking about your day every day, guys. And it doesn't have to be like, the best article that you're going to read on the New York Times. Just have to be your diary with a simple language and basic sentences, basic words, but it's going to help you to create the habit of writing in English every day. And every time that you're going to see a mistake of yourself, Google Docs is going to correct you. And you are going to learn just by the contrast. So every time that you're going to see how you are writing it wrongly, you can see how you can correct it also. Everyone that is getting it now, guys, there is a comment with a YouTube link, and if you click there, you can come to my YouTube channel to see my slides. Okay, I would like to see you there. Guys, let me know there on Instagram or on YouTube if you are liking the content, if you thought that any of these techniques are useful for you. Okay, so the first one is to think out loud in English, right? To start thinking and planning your day or talking about the activities to yourself in English. The second one is start a diary, right? Every day you write some sentences about what you have done during that day. Other thing that I have been doing, guys, recently is, because I don't know if you know, but I'm learning my third language right now, right? So I already speak Portuguese, of course, obviously, because I'm from Brazil. I speak Spanish, I speak English, and right now I am learning French, my third language. And one of the things that helped me, for example, to keep in touch with Spanish, that is a language that I don't have that much contact on my daily basis, is to follow native English speakers, influencers on social media, right? So sorry, when I want to keep in touch with Spanish, I follow native Spanish speakers, influencers, right? So this is a very great like way of listening to kind of a clean English, without the Brazilian accent, because guys, everyone has an accent. I have already talked about this on my Instagram profile like 1,000 of times. I don't worry that much about my accent because I'm proud of being Brazilian. I don't want to sound like an American. I think it's really important for us to neutralize our accent in order to pronounce the words better. But speaking a language with an accent is not a problem. at all, mispronouncing the word it is, but it's good for us to, listen to native English speakers. And native English speakers, they don't have to be specifically from USA. They can be from, the UK, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, anywhere in the world. But it's important for you because if you are going to spend your time on social media, and we spend lots of time on social media every day. Why not using this time to listen to someone that is speaking another language that we want to learn or that we want to improve? Okay. So right now I'm using this strategy here in Quebec. Here in Quebec, they speak a different kind of French. So we have like the French from France, that is the European French, and we also have the Quebecois French, that will be the French from this province of Canada. And the accent is really, really difficult, and is really, really different from one place to another. So I am listening to some French people from France, and I also have some influencers that I follow that are from here, and it totally helps me. Sometimes I learn an expression in my French class, or I learn a new word, but I don't like keep in touch with the word that much. When I listen to the person talking on the social media, I can remember that, and it makes me really more confident when I'm going to use this word in the next interaction that I have. Okay, so start following native English speakers, influencers on social media. If you follow me on Instagram, if you are here on YouTube, or if you are here on Instagram, you can see some people I follow. I follow many great contenters, many creators of content in English, and I totally recommend you guys to do the same. Okay, next one, guys. Use TED Talks to boost your English. If you don't know what TED Talks are, I just created a reels talking about that, and in the reels there are some of my three top TED Talks, and they are like very small. They are short, like 20 minutes kind of talks, and they talk about many different issues, many different topics, many different themes. So one of the things that I love using TED Talks, that we always learn something new. Doesn't matter like which are the topics that you consider important for you. If you research, you are gonna find a TED Talk about it. And also we can learn people, you can listen to people having many different accents, right? So if you are, for example, going to a place, I have a student who right now is going to South Africa. So she can like just listen to many different TED Talks about South Africa, that she's going to get, used to the kind of accent that they have there. And also she's going to learn more about the culture, about the expressions, about any of these different, all this different information that is really important for us when you go to a different place. For example, when I came here to Quebec, I had no idea that they had this kind of wish of being separated from Canada, that they wanted this in the past, that the culture from here is totally different from the rest of the country. I had no idea. If I had already watched some TED Talks in French or in English talking about Quebec, for sure I would arrive here more prepared for that. Okay. So I'm gonna talk now, guys, about the last TED Talk that I used on my conversation club. So if you are already understanding me, and you can talk in English, and if you have the level of English that allows you to be in a class like this one, first of all, be proud of yourself. As I don't know who, Pablo said, right, that he was very proud of himself because he was understanding everything. Be proud of yourself, because only 5% of the population in Brazil have some kind of knowledge in English, right? So I think you should be really proud of the achievements that you have. And if you want to improve it, not having an English class talking about grammar or many different topics like that, but just being in an environment that you can practice, that you can listen and talk in English also, you can join my conversation club. We have meetings every Thursday, 8 p.m. Brazilian time, and there we have 1 hour and a half of conversation, 1 hour and a half of interaction. And in our last conversation club meeting, we discussed this video: why your life needs novelty. no matter your age. So this was a very fun and very enlightened, TED talk, talking about that it's really important for us to do things for the first time. When was the last time you did something for the first time, right? So he talks about that, how we feel alive when we are having like new experiences. And I was just talking to the students during the conversation club that maybe this is one of the biggest advantages for us when we live abroad, because when we live in another country, we have first time experiences every day. Like, for example, me here, I just saw the snow melting for the first time, because here in Quebec we have like incredible amount of snow in front of the houses. There is a mountain of snow that it just forms every winter, and it's really incredible when you can see like the mountain just like getting there, and also when it all melts out. So like all the experiences that we have here every day, there is always something new, and that's why we feel lots of novelty, and it's really important for us to create this kind of experience. So if you don't live abroad, maybe you don't have like these experiences of having first time experiences every day, but you should look for doing something new, maybe finding a different road to get to your job, or using different kind of clothes, eating something different, hang out with your friends in a bar that you don't usually go to, always trying to bring something new to your routine, right? It was really incredible. So this was the topic, this is what we learned about life in this TED talk. But we also had some new words, right? So me here, I have some of the new words that I learned, that I remembered. Some of them I already knew, but these are words that we don't use that much, we don't use that often. So it's really important for us to have like this kind of perspective when you watch a video, when you watch a movie, when you see any kind of content in English. It's good for you to take your time to write down what are the new words, what is the description of these new words. If there are expressions, what are the contexts that you can use these expressions, is really, really important. So I just wrote down 4 of the new words that I learned in this TED talk. The first one is chew, guys. Chew is the act of, putting something in your mouth and not just doing this movement like this, okay? To bite and work food in the mouth, in the teeth, especially to make it easier to swallow. Swallow is another word that maybe is new for you guys. So I'm going to put here in the comments the translation, right? So chew is going to be this verb, and swallow is another verb that is this one here. The guys who are on YouTube are seeing all the new words. If you are on Instagram, just join us there, okay? So this is a word that he used during the TED talk, and I wrote down because it was a new word for many of my students. The other one, guys, is grief. Grief is, when somebody dies, when somebody like in your family die, or maybe a friend, anybody that you know, and you feel like that very deep sorrow, like a very deep sadness. You maybe cry for some hours, or you don't sleep for many days. Usually people wear black when they are feeling like that. So this is the word grief. I'm gonna put on the comments also. If you are on YouTube, you are seeing my comments, right? And he talks about that. That is when we are passing through a difficult moment, we usually feel grief, okay? The other one is foster. Foster is when you enable, when you promote, when you encourage somebody or something. So he was talking about how we can foster these new ideas, these novelty ideas in our life, how we can motivate ourselves, and also give kind of a trigger for people to make them like more able to start having novelty and new things in their lives. And this word, so I'm gonna put this word here in Portuguese also for you to check it out. And we have the word asset. Asset, guys, is a word that we usually use in Portuguese as well. Like we have a sentence in Portuguese, is a word that most of times we use in business English. So for example, if you are having like a project in the company that you work for, you can say, hey, I'm gonna talk to somebody from a different team because I think he or she is gonna be an asset. So when we say that somebody is gonna be an asset, it means that this person is gonna bring something new to the table. You know, this person is going to help, is going to collaborate, is gonna be a valuable resource, you know, of something. So asset is a word that we use in English, and we use the same word in English in sentences in Portuguese, especially when we are having a business English conversation or any kind of business conversation, even when we are talking in Portuguese, right? And it's really interesting, guys, because there are no equivalent word. There is no equivalent word for asset in Portuguese. We can say like somebody who is like important, valuable, efficient, but like as an asset, we don't have this. So it's a new word, and even if you don't like speak English fluently, you can use this word when you are talking Portuguese. You know, it's gonna be very fancy. It's gonna be like it's gonna sound that you know what you're talking about. Okay. I'm not gonna put the translation because there is no. So asset, you really have to understand the meaning of this word in English. Okay, guys, I think we have come to an end. Yes, we have come to an end of our class. I would love to thank you all, guys, for being here with me. And I would like also to send to the ones who are on YouTube. If you are on Instagram, click on this pin comment and come to YouTube, because I'm gonna share with you guys right now a form, right? So there are a couple of questions, because if you are still here with me, I think you have kind of a very great knowledge of English already, and you are able to be part of my conversation club. So I'm gonna put here this form, and you just fill out for me to tell like if you would like to be part of this conversation club, if you would love to, you know, have any kind of interaction with me, and you know, with other people as well. In our conversation club, we have some foreigners. I have my mother-in-law there participating with me, so it's really nice because she's from Canada. She's Canadian. She's also Quebecois, is what we say when the person is from Quebec. And she has English as her second language, right? Her first language is French. So she speaks English, and she speaks English with a French accent. So it's important for us to have like this kind of content, this kind of contact with people that also have different accents than the Brazilian ones, right? And also is a person that we can only communicate if we speak with her in English. So it's great. I would love to have you there. I'm pretty sure if you stay until this moment, you are able to participate, to have already a great level of English, and I'll be really happy to have you there. Okay, guys, today the class is gonna be short, right? We just reached 30 minutes. If you have any question, just let me know. Just write for me in the comments here on Instagram or there on YouTube. I'm thinking about having these lives every Tuesday, like in English, all the content in English, and every Monday I'm gonna do the content all in Portuguese. So yesterday we had a class talking about how we can start our English journey, and today I was talking to the ones who are along the way, right? Guys, if you are there, like Gleice, Marcelo, Pablo, Ana Lívia, click on this comment that is pinned here to come to my YouTube channel, because there I have a form for you if you want to apply to my conversation club. And how this conversation club work, guys? We have 1 hour and a half of interaction every Thursday. We start at 8 p.m. Brazilian time, and we go until 9:30 p.m. And there we divide our meetings in 3 different moments. In the first 30 minutes, we have like a main call conversation. So everybody's gonna talk about one video. Yeah, I forgot to mention that we always discuss about a TED Talk, right? So we create a group on WhatsApp. We send a TED Talk like this one that I just told you about. And during these 30 minutes that we are talking, we just ask like, did you guys watch the video? What were your thoughts on that? Did you understand what is the message? Could you understand the accent of the speaker? Did you find this topic interesting? And in the second moment, I divide our rooms in only one-on-ones, right? So two people for breakout rooms, and you have some questions to guide your conversation. So we're gonna ask each other some questions. You have 30 minutes just to talk with another person during this conversation club meeting. And in our last 30 minutes, everybody's back to the main call, and together we talk about new expressions, new vocabularies, and some of the ideas that we have during the conversation club. Okay, so guys, I would love to thank you all for being here. It was incredible. There is a link on my comment here for the ones that just arrived from Instagram. And if you would like to listen to the whole class, it's gonna be available on this link. I'm gonna be here every Tuesday at the same time, and also every Monday. Every Tuesday is gonna be all in English, and every Monday is gonna be in Portuguese. I thank you all for being here, and see you next week. Bye bye. Let me end it here. Bye, guys.